Today's video, there's not going to be a ton of fancy editing and jumping back and forth. We're literally just going to turn the screen recording on and look at some type layouts. I got a really great question in the comments on one of the typography t-shirts videos, which I'm going to put out more of. It seems like you guys like them. There's lots of positive comments saying that it's super helpful. So we're gonna do more of those. But I got this great comment that says, I'm a newbie who needs help with creative text use. Is there a formula or a rule of thirds or something else for spacing and vertical stacking? I notice you turn your head sideways when you are deciding if it looks right. Does that help you see sizing better? LOL. LOL. To answer the last question first, the me turning my head sideways thing, I don't I don't necessarily know if it helps me see the sizing or the orientation or the alignment better. I might just be thinking it's kind of a posture thing. Like, I don't know if I'm trying to figure out if I like it, if I have a problem with it. Basically, in any of my designs, I call it done when I don't have a problem with it. I typically, if I have the time, if I still have a problem with it, I'll keep going. But I'll call a design done when I can look at it and be like, yeah, I wouldn't change anything. I don't have a problem with it. But we're gonna look at some typography layouts. Here are a couple of those, quite a few actually, from the first video. That's all of these. And then the second video, depending upon when this video comes out, this one might already be out. But here is the link to the first video that you can watch on this first set of typography layouts. So we've got a lot of things going on here, and stacking text and different typography layouts, I wouldn't necessarily say is like my specialty or that I'm an expert at it. I do love typography. It's probably my favorite aspect of design, and a lot of the designs that I do are very typography forward, typography focused. I'm not super apt to use a bunch of illustrations and different colors and stuff like that, mostly because I just feel like I'm not great at it. But typography is something that I love to do and use in my designs, and it's just what I'm comfortable with. And usually you're going to gravitate towards and use what you're comfortable with, and then therefore if you use that a lot, you're going to get better at it. So that's kind of what has happened over time. So we're just going to look at a couple of these. One of the first things that I want to point out is the difference between like true center balancing, like clicking something and then aligning it to the center. Like let's say I clicked this and I clicked center alignment, versus optical balance. So there's a difference between like true alignment when you're aligning two text things and more of an optical alignment. So for example, we could take something like here where, you know, the bulk of this line of text starts kind of offset because there's a ligature of this T coming out, or there's a big tail coming off this end, so it kind of forces that text to the right. Or this right here, there's a big tail from the F and then a big tail from the K. It kind of forces that text box to shift all the way to the right, whereas like you might want to actually grab that and pull it a little bit back to the left, and it would help it feel more optically balanced. So I could take something like this and shift it back a little bit to the left. And it depends on what font you're using. This one I feel like looks a slightly less balanced than the others. So I could grab this and pull it a little bit to the left. And then that looks more balanced to me because the meat, the bulk of the N actually starts more so here-ish than over here with this tail. I would say this one for sure looks slightly offset to me, like it looks slightly to the right. So I would do something like that. A great font to see this in action with is actually Ballet, which has a massive tails coming off the letters. So I'm just gonna pull some text over to the side, and I'm gonna say subtext, adjust that text box, and then I'll make another one and put this as Ballet. Make that title. So if I select these two and I align them like this, it's telling me that technically it is aligned. But when I look at this, I'm like, that doesn't really sit well with me because there's so much goobly gop going on over here on the left side that it forces that whole text box over to the right. And so what I would normally do is pull that actually back over to the left, and that to me looks more centered versus that. You may look at it the first time and be like, yeah, it's fine, and that's great. But once you start moving some of your specifically script text boxes over to the left a little bit, if you're doing a design that has a capital first letter, you're gonna find that they have these big tails coming off. You're gonna wanna move it over to the side a little bit. So when I'm doing my spacing left to right, something like this, where all of this type is just capital letters in a sans serif font, I'm just gonna grab all of those text boxes and center them and then call it done, because there's nothing like branching off the sides there. This one is like a special case where I feel like that this is a different font. This is Monsieur La something, I don't know how to pronounce that. I would probably botch it anyway, but I feel like the K is pretty balanced here. And then I also have another capital letter here. If I didn't, now this feels kind of like optically imbalanced to me. So I might switch it over to the right or to the left a little bit until it feels correct. Here's another example. We've got a big G right here that is forcing it to feel slightly left side heavy. So I might actually shift that to the right, and that feels more optically balanced to me. And it's a slight change, but if you do that over the course of a lot of designs, like this one's a great example. Like right off the bat, you're like, oh, that's cool. Like that looks great to me. But if I take this text box and I move it over to the left, and then I show you the difference, now it looks wacky, like it looks weird, but this feels actually balanced because there's so much like swoopy doopy coming off of the letter. Like it looks really cool, but it's throwing off the optical balance of the text. So that was definitely one thing to address when aligning your text layers vertically. Another thing that definitely I put a lot of time and attention to is spacing of different text boxes or lines of text. It's definitely going to change the look and feel of your design. For example, we've got this one where the spacing kind of looks like sporadic, and it's kind of like, why couldn't you just take this and put it right here? And like, yeah, I guess that's fine, but I'm thinking about it in groups versus I have 3 separate text boxes and they need to be evenly spaced apart because that's like mathematically correct, but it looks optically imbalanced. So what I would do is I would grab this and I would bring this down. So this now becomes a group together, and then this is its own thing. And now I have 2 separate things that fill the space in their own way. You could say the same thing about this design up here, where I've got 4 different text boxes, and if I take this and I ungroup that and I space these all out evenly, it's kind of like I have no idea what's going on with this, and it doesn't feel good to my eye. I have no idea what has priority. But if I put these back the way that they were, it's kind of like this is a group and then this is a group, and it has its own defined space. Here's another example where I've got like a group here and a group there. If I evenly spaced out all of these lines, I mean, again, like it looks fine maybe. Or if I did something like this where I tried to space out all of this, I'm like, it just like, it looks, it's almost like the more intentionality that you put into and trying to make everything evenly spaced as possible and mathematically correct, it's like the less intentional and more sporadic it looks. So I would think about it way more in terms of like groups, grouping different things and having a space between them. So like this is one thing, and then I have my space, and then I have my other thing. And then the space in between these text lines is just determined by trial and error. Like I could just space this out like this and be like, it doesn't look super good. See, I'm turning my head to the left, but I'm just looking at it. I'm just thinking about it. That doesn't look super great to me. What if I condense them back together? To me, and this is, all of this is going to be chalked up to personal preference at some point, but I think that looks a lot better. And then, this is another one where it's kind of like, maybe I could bring that down a little bit for sure. So the space between the main title and then this group is the same as the space between this group and then this group down here. So it's kind of like I'm spacing out my groups versus spacing out my horizontal entities, whether they be text boxes or icons or whatnot. So, let's just play that out really quick. Let's just say I vertically space these all out evenly. This is quickly becoming like not nearly as good. Like I do not like that at all. It looks very sloppy and sporadic versus having everything kind of like in their own box. Like you got to think about it as putting this line of text and this line of text together in a cubby, and then you have your title or you have your elements, and you have to think about the space between the different elements based on their group orientation versus just their individual, like it by itself. Here's another one where it's like, I could have even spent more time on this. Maybe I could make this a little closer and then be like, okay, here's my title, and then this is the space between the title and then this group, and then the space between the lines in the group could be, cut in half. So it's like this is 1 and then this is 0.5. Some people like to think about spacing in terms of like actual units or like grids, like lines, drawing grids and saying, I know that this is like this amount of pixels to this space. So you could hit Command apostrophe and bring up your grid here. And if you want to change the size of the grid, you can go over to this hamburger menu right here on the top left, and you can change the size of the grids right here. And it's actually funny that this fits perfectly within the grid, but I didn't use a grid. So naturally, it's like I've done it so long that I think in terms of like what would fit into a grid without actually having to put it into a grid. But if that's helpful for you, you could say like, my first group is gonna be this first 2 boxes, and then I'm gonna skip a box, and then my next group is, it fills 1 box per line versus this is my title and it fills 2 boxes vertically. That could also work as well. So you're gonna, you have 1 and then you cut that in half, and then you cut those halves in halves. And so you're just basically doing fractions at that point. I could also do that with this one down here, where I say I take this one and just make that fill 3 boxes vertically. And I have this one that fills 2 boxes. And that's also gonna be kind of determined by the size and whether the font is wide or tall. It's gonna determine how much vertical space or horizontal space it takes. But we could place that there, and it's like, okay, so this one takes up 2 boxes, this one takes up 2 boxes, this one takes up half a box. So we have a box space here, a box space here, and then this one has to have room for the ligature to come down. So naturally we could put like a box and a half of space. Or if we technically counted it from the ligature, if you go half to half, this would be 1 box grid of space. I hope that's starting to make sense and not just sound like ramblings at this point. But hopefully you're able to see this kind of played out here. Like it looks like this one as well. Each line has 2 boxes, a space, 2 boxes. This one fills 3 boxes together, and then I have a defined amount of boxes in between. And that's just kind of how it ended up. I didn't use guides to do any of this. I kind of optically just looked at it and spaced it out. And that's the thing that you have to keep in mind is you're gonna want to like play around with the spacing of things, not just try one spacing and then automatically say, okay, it's the font. I gotta change the font, or I gotta change the color. You gotta play around with the spacing of things. For example, when I did this text box, I think the actual line height started something around here. And to me, that looks terrible. I don't like that at all. But it's not the font and it's not the color. So if I just take the line height and I condensed it, that feels more nice and tidy and neat and put together to me. So the main 2 takeaways from this video is definitely try to prioritize optical balance over like just clicking something and then center it, like making it a true center, because it's centering the text box, the full text box, versus optically centering it to where the most amount of weight of the pixels is in the middle of the artboard. That's most often going to happen with script fonts because they've got these tails and stuff coming off the left or off the right. So you're gonna wanna optically center it. It's gonna take a little bit of practice. And then the second thing is thinking about things in terms of like groups. You wanna group your elements together and then space those groups out versus just saying, I have 4 lines of text and I'm gonna evenly space out all of those lines of text. It just doesn't feel good that way. Remember that you can use guides. I don't use guides, but you can do that if you want to. If you find it helpful, definitely just Command apostrophe, turn those guides on, and you're good to go. That is all for this video. Hopefully this was helpful. It's gonna take some practice. Don't get aggravated if you can't do it immediately. And I think in general, it's good to practice optically being able to look at something and know that it is balanced or not without trying to rely on guides or grids. And also remember that it's important to know what you're printing on. Like if I print onto a shirt, it's gonna move around. Like this is, if I wear the shirt like this, you can't just be like, oh, you didn't print, it's not center, you didn't print it right. No, it's just the way that it's laying right now looks off center. So that's why I like to prioritize optically centering things versus like a true center, because then once you print it and wear it, it's gonna throw it off even more. So just optically center all of your layers together. If you're not already subscribed to the Kittl channel, hit that subscribe button, like this video. Leave a comment down below if this was helpful, if it wasn't, if I need to phrase it a different way or go more in depth or do like more of a ratio fraction approach to this, being like, hey, your headline should be this point size and then you do this equation to get your subtitle and then down to the, like I've seen people do that. I don't do that because I think personally it's a waste of time because I'm not doing mostly layout. I'm just pumping out like merch designs and typography designs. And so I'm just optically balancing things. Thanks again so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.